Confession. I spent over 6 years building a business that looked like a dream from the outside. I got to travel all over the world, work with amazing fashion brands as my clients, scaled it to multiple 6 figures. But behind the scenes, I was consistently burning out, I was depleted, and I just couldn't do it anymore. While it's a dream business, it slowly turned into a nightmare. And so let's rewind. I'm going to talk about how I started and where it started going wrong so that I can prevent that from happening to you. Over 6 years ago, I started a sustainable fashion consultancy called Recloseted, and you might be a longtime listener to my former podcast, Recloseted Radio. I've decided to keep all the past episodes because I still stand by what I said there, but it was my first time building a business, like I mentioned. So for the first few years, I was figuring things out as I went. I did everything myself. I was doing product development, I was doing product fulfillment, I was working with clients, I was doing the finances, the accounting, the marketing, the sales, like all the things. I was loving it because I was learning so much. I'm definitely someone that learns on the go. And so I had a lot of fun with it. And I started to invest in a lot of mentors and coaches. And it took me a couple of years to get over this hump of investing in things because I was so scared to buy the wrong thing or invest in the wrong thing. But once I invested in something that helped me launch my Launch Your Brand course, which then helped me to realize how valuable investing in knowledge was, I then started investing in more things. But where I went wrong wasn't that I invested in things, because I'm always a big proponent in investing in your knowledge, because why wouldn't you fast track your success by investing in the knowledge, the strategies, and also getting back time because you don't have to figure it out yourself, and also avoiding mistakes, right? Like that's always a no-brainer for me. But it's important to invest in the right mentor and make sure their values are aligned with yours. Because back then, over half a decade ago, most of the mentors were preaching grow at all cost strategies, meaning that you grow at all costs at the detriment of your health, your mental health, all this stuff. Like the business comes first. And yes, I think to truly build an amazing, long-lasting business that's super innovative, like what Elon Musk has done with Tesla as an example. I mean, Elon Musk is doing all sorts of weird things right now, and he may not align with his values. I don't, but I think we can still respect the fact that he built Tesla and SpaceX at the same time, both things that seemed absurd, electric self-driving cars and building rocket ships. But if you're going to build something like that, you may have to put your personal life on hold. However, if you're just trying to build a business to sustain your lifestyle, live your best life, then you don't need to do that. And it's around recognizing which of the camps you're in and being so confident in your decision and knowing that. For me, I'm not trying to build the next SpaceX. I'm not trying to build the next Tesla. I'm just trying to sustain my lifestyle, build something for myself, and make a positive impact on the world. That's literally all I'm trying to do. And so in order to do that, I don't want to kill myself. And that's okay. Like I want to be able to go on vacation. I want to be able to sleep 7 to 8 hours a day. I want to be able to go to Pilates if I want to go to Pilates. I want to be able to do those things. I am confident enough to say that and claim that and know that I want to grow my business in a sustainable way in this new era. But back then, because I was a newbie founder, I did not have that confidence to say that. When I enrolled in the programs and the courses and I worked with mentors that were more intense, kind of like that Elon Musk mentality where they were like, you got to do all the sales calls, you got to do these webinars, you got to do X, Y, Z. I was like, okay, I'm going to do all that because that's what's made them successful and it's going to make me successful. But I just copy and pasted without thinking strategically around, is this what I actually want? And are my values aligned with them? Quite frankly, it wasn't. All this to say, one of the first mistakes I made was not getting clear about what my version of success is, why I was even doing this business, and just blindly following best practices without having the critical thinking skills to be like, is this going to work for me? Is this going to get me to my version of success and not just whatever my mentor thinks I need to be doing? This is so important. And if you're listening or watching this right now and you're like, ooh, I don't really know what my version of success is, I got you. I have a free mini course called Your Success Roadmap where we get quiet, we get introspective, we figure out what your version of success is, and we build a roadmap to get there, because it's not enough just to be like, this is what I want to do. We need to make a plan so that you actually achieve it. It will be linked for you down below. You can enroll for free. Visit selenaho.com/roadmap. The first lesson that you can likely take away from this is that grow at all cost strategies don't really work. They may work in the short term and get you some sales, get you some results, But in the long run, if you cannot upkeep whatever sales strategy your mentor told you or whatever marketing strategy your mentor told you, then it is not going to be in your service to do this. Because yes, maybe you can do sales calls every single day for a week, but then after that you're burnt out and you can't do it anymore. Maybe you'll get sales for that 1 week, but then after that you fall off, and that's when you get inconsistent income. Or maybe you can post on Instagram every single day for a week, but after that week you ghost your community and you don't post for 2 months, and that's not sustainable. So what can you actually do sustainably so that you can build a long-term, long-lasting business? That's the first lesson. I think it's really important to know that we're not here to chase short-term success. We are here for long-lasting results and success and to achieve our versions of success. That is so important. Building on top of that, my second lesson from this is that chasing someone else's version of success will never make you happy and never make you feel fulfilled. I used to look at what other founders were doing and be like, ooh, I want that, without even questioning it, because in my eyes, I was like, oh, they're successful and I want to do that. I just automatically try to make that a goal or an aspiration. And like I mentioned, whatever mentor I was working with, I would adopt and accept whatever goals they set out for me. They would be like, oh, I think you can do this, or I think you should do that. And I would just be like, yeah, that sounds good, because I just felt like they knew better than me. But I hate to break it to you, only you know what is going to be best for you. And then once you know that, you can then hire mentors and bring people in and bring experts in that can help you get there. But you should never let someone dictate what you are trying to achieve. And you should never let someone tell you what success should look like for you, because it's a very personal thing. Like I mentioned, not everyone wants to build the next Tesla or the next Apple or the next Google. I mean, if you do, that's amazing. And I am here for it. I am cheering you on. But on the flip side, if you want to be a mom and you want to have a business and have a career that supports you and your family, that's equally amazing. And no one should tell you that that is not a good thing, or that's not aspirational enough, or whatever else. It is so important that you follow your own version of success, which is why I put out that mini course, Your Success Roadmap. It is something I am so passionate about, because I would just adopt what other people's version of success was as my own. And that's why I felt so unfulfilled and so depleted 6 years into building my previous business. So you need to get quiet and you need to figure out what's going to work for you. And so doing that for over 6 years, you can imagine there's a breaking point. Honestly, looking back now, I'm surprised I hung in there for 6 years. It just speaks to the fact that I'm really perseverant, I'm really resilient, but it just comes to a point where it's like, you got to quit. You can't do this anymore. That happened to me last summer. And it just all came crashing down, and I just knew I couldn't do this anymore. I was constantly burning out. I wasn't happy. I wasn't fulfilled. And it was because I wasn't chasing my version of success. I was chasing a version of success that society prescribes to us. And so I got quiet. I got introspective. I really thought through what I wanted in this new era, what I wanted to learn, where I wanted to grow, what I wanted to develop. And that's how I created Your Success Roadmap. It's really the exercise I brought myself through, and it really helped me. So I'm now sharing it with all of you. Recognizing that I hit a breaking point and then I had to pivot. From that, a lesson is that when your business constantly and consistently feels like an uphill battle, something needs to change. It doesn't mean that you need to quit or shut your business down, but it is a good opportunity for you to assess what needs to change. Is it that you need to outsource and hire for help? Is it that this task that takes so long doesn't need to actually be done because it doesn't move the needle? Or are you chasing the wrong metrics or goals? Really take a hard look. So third lesson, when your business feels like an uphill battle consistently and constantly, take that as a sign to look deeper and see what's going on. The fourth lesson from this and from this entire experience is to pay yourself properly. Another thing that I just adopted from this hustle culture entrepreneurial lexicon and what society says around founders reinvesting constantly in their business, not taking a salary, all this stuff, like I really took that to heart. I do think founders should reinvest into their business, but only to a certain point. Your business should always be self-sufficient at some point, like maybe not from year one, but eventually it needs to be profitable and stand on its own. You cannot keep pouring your life savings into it. And you should also have boundaries around that. How much of your own money are you going to pour into this before you're like, okay, this is not going to work or something needs to change? All this to say, pay yourself properly. I could have paid myself a lot more, but I was like, no, I'm going to hire people. I'm going to outsource. I'm really going to try to grow this business. But at the end of the day, I feel like I should have just paid myself. It was getting to a point where the business wasn't growing, not because I didn't have a big enough team. It was not growing because the market size wasn't there. All this to say, have boundaries around how much of your savings you're going to pour into this business, have expectations around how much you want to pay yourself, And in your success roadmap, we get really clear around how much you need bare minimum to survive. So like how much your rent costs, how much grocery costs, all this stuff, as well as how much you ideally want to pay yourself. Maybe you can't pay yourself your ideal number right now. That's okay, but you can work towards it. That now brings us to present day. Even though I'm so incredibly proud of what I've built in the community and all of you, I wanted to share the real unfiltered behind the scenes, because a lot of the times back then I was like, yeah, this is great. I'm just going to keep growing, keep growing, keep growing. I was just burning out so much and I just wasn't happy and wasn't feeling fulfilled anymore. I was really scared to share that, but all of you have been so encouraging and supportive. So I really, really appreciate that. But as of right now, I can tell you that I am the happiest and also the healthiest I have ever been, which is crazy to say because I feel like you're supposed to be super healthy in your 20s, but I really wasn't. My mental health and my health in general just wasn't great. I was constantly getting sick. I felt like my immune system was non-existent and mental health was not great either. Now I can confidently say I am so much happier because I've allowed myself to face the things that I was avoiding for so long and realize that that previous business model wasn't working for me. And I've now found my own version of success that I'm unapologetically trying to obtain. I found things I want to learn and grow and develop. And I'm just healthier. If you subscribe to my newsletter, you know that I ran a half marathon recently, something I never thought I would be able to do. I'm about to run another one in a month or so. So yeah, I'm just living my best life. I feel so passionate about my career again and really invigorated. I was talking to a couple of my besties back home this past week and I was telling them about all these updates and both of them were like, yeah, you seem so much lighter and so much more passionate. I'm feeling really, really good. In the past 8 months too, my businesses have made the most they've ever made. All this to say, you do not have to prescribe to grow at all cost strategies. And I used to think that that was the only way you could be successful. But I now think actually you need to sustainably grow your business because if you don't, you're going to fizzle out, burn out, and you're not going to achieve everything you set out to do and you're not going to achieve your version of success. So all this to say, future episodes, I'm going to be going deep into the strategies and tactics I have been implementing over the past 8 months that have really helped me grow Recloseted as well as grow my new advisory firm. I'm going to be talking about products, sustainable sales, and marketing strategies. And so if you have any specific questions or things you want me to touch on, send me a DM at Selena J. Ho. But I hope that sharing in a way where I've never talked about it before on my past Recloseted Radio podcast has allowed you to realize that those grow at all cost strategies just don't work and you don't have to prescribe to them because we need to make sure that you are able to do business in a way that is going to work for you so that you can be consistent on it and you can continue to do it because that's how you truly build a long-lasting business. So ending this by saying that I am living proof that you can sustainably grow your business and still be happy, still be healthy, and be able to support yourself as well. Hopefully this inspires you and come back next week. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Share this with any of your entrepreneurial or founder friends, and I will see you soon.